Okay, let's talk about trampolines. I'm at home, obviously, right now, and the kids are oftentimes out on the trampoline. And so, as a mom, I think it's important to pass along some tips that I would have if one of them came in with a broken part. And let's focus on arms, because legs are a lot harder to deal with than an arm. At least an arm, they can walk. They can walk to the car, they can walk to the Mediclinic or the hospital, whichever you choose. And you can probably make a better splint for an arm. So we'll talk about legs another day. So one of the things that actually aggravates me as an instructor is I'm all for improvisation, but I really encourage my students to keep it real. So when I see students tell me that they were told this would be a good splint, I think of all the freaking things you have in your house. You're gonna go for a soup ladle. What the hell are you thinking? Thinking that someone's gonna take their broken arm and accept this soup ladle being shoved up into there. It only works when a student can take their magic soup ladle and just wrap their hand over top. Like, that'll be a perfect splint. It won't. Okay, people who are hurt don't want to try and have this shoved into that. Okay, you can do better. Next first aid gem that seems to come up in ideas for home splinting is this. Okay, honestly, and I use the wrist because it's the only thing I can give you as a visual. You know, if I have a broken wrist, you know, that might be put to a spoon. But again, in your house, you have tons of other things that you can use. So maybe leave the utensils for the utensil drawer and think of other ideas. Okay, a good home option, or maybe something like at a shop or anywhere that you're kind of out and about even, is oftentimes just trying to get to the recycling bin and getting cardboard. So, a little advertising. Doesn't matter what kind, but something that you could fold and sort of get to the point where it's about, you know, arm's length. That would be a good, doesn't have to be, you know, super thick, but just something like that. Lastly, you want to go get something that you can pat it with. So a tea towel on top of that, or heck, you could even, you know, wrap the tea towel all around it, whatever. The more padding for the arm, the better, right? So however broken they are, you know, putting that arm down onto that, like we've shown you before, you know, would at least fill some of those gaps and be a lot more comfortable. Okay, so if I were at my house and my kid had broke their arm, probably the one thing that I would go for is a towel. So I'll probably just go get a beach towel that I don't care if I get it back. You know, get it about four inches wide and just fold it up, just like we showed you in that hoodie video. But if you get that really nice and compact and folded, it doesn't need extra padding. So whatever, you know, part is broken, maybe it's in an S shape, whatever it may be, they can rest down into that and then just rest. And there is your start for your splint. You would still need the stuffing for any curves that you might have. Obviously a couple gauze rolls to keep it all together. Maybe a tensor bandage to finish, okay? And those would be your better options for splinting.